Welcome to the butt crack of dawn, and welcome to our brand new series, Kickstart. Buy, ride, and sell, where we buy a motorcycle, we ride a motorcycle, and we sell a motorcycle all within 36 hours. We're not just going to buy, ride, and sell, but we're going to do so without losing money on this proposition. The idea isn't necessarily to make money, but we certainly don't want to lose money. Sorry you can't hear me, Jess, but yeah, I'll be there at about noon, and I'll give you a call about a half hour before we arrive. I can't wait to see these bikes, and thanks. Looking forward to seeing you. Ciao. And the bikes that we found on Craigslist are classic 1960s British bikes. And I've never owned a British bike. I've owned a lot of other bikes. I've owned a Japanese bike. I've owned German bikes. I even own a Swedish bike, a Husqvarna. But I've never owned a 1960s cafe racer style British bike. Hey Jess, it's Roman, how are you?
Yeah, I'll be there at 1.
Alright, will that work for you? Yeah, so we're gonna leave here. We're gonna try to leave here about 7 in the morning. So I figure, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. We may be there before 1. We may be there around noon. Will you be home at noon?
That's fine, yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, what's your address? Okay, and that's in Hot Springs? We need a ramp to put the motorcycles into the back of the bed.
Okay, I'm gonna have to run across the store. We do have ramps. Are you looking for a motorcycle or a four-wheeler or T-Rex? What are you loading?
A motorcycle. There we have one motorcycle ramp. Hopefully load the new British bike onto the old Raptor. How far is it from here to Hot Springs? How long will it take us?
300. Depending on how you go, it's about 320 miles. Go up Highway 85.
Okay.
Take I-25 north, hang right on 85, go up through Torrington and Lusk. When you get to Mule Creek Junction, turn right and just stay on that road, and it will dump you into the heart of Hot Springs.
Do you know old bikes?
Oh yeah.
So which would you get out of those? Would you get a Bonneville? Would you get a Commando? Or would you get the BSA?
I'd get the BSA.
The Thunderbolt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's not very many of them. Everybody does the Triumphs and Nortons.
Right.
Diamond does.
That was a really nice guy. I love motorcycle guys. It's a definitely community. And he told me something really interesting about old British bikes. He said they don't leak, they just mark their spot. If you don't have cash, you probably won't buy the motorcycle. So what I gotta do next? Get some cash. Somebody just complimented me on the Raptor. Very lucky to have that. All right, so you need basically 5 things. You need proof of insurance, title from South Dakota, VIN, inspection, is that right? And then insurance card and my driver's license. Oh, bill of sale. Okay. When I was a little kid at the age of 13, my dad bought me a Kawasaki 100, and it was an Enduro, and that's what they were called back then, Enduros. It was one of these bikes that could go both on dirt and on the road. And we grew up in a little suburb of Chicago where they were building new homes. And I rode that bike all around the subdivisions, just had the ball. Really loved riding on the dirt. And when I turned 16, I got my motorcycle license. And I put that bike on the street. And when I was taking summer algebra 2, because I flunked out of algebra in the school year, that motorcycle represented freedom to me. So how would you compare this to a Triumph? What's kind of the difference?
Well, like a pre-unit BSA, I really like the looks of it. Ah, dang it, man. Every time I say, well, I'm going to hang on to this bike because I just love it.
Yeah.
That's the one everybody zeroes in on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Of course.
That's red.
But
Three-cell red. I like
yeah,
that.
the shape of the old BSAs I like the best.
Yeah.
I like the BSAs too, just because of the big flashy look and chrome and the big badges. And
I guess these always cracked. People said that they were always plastic. And
these are
cracked.
actually, they're $100,
Good.
and I bought them.
Oh really?
But they're $100 now for a pair of these.
Did you do anything to it? Did you fix it up, or did you
This?
just? Yeah.
Nothing. I was
Nothing.
just gonna start on. Actually, I figured, you know, I'd patch this and
Okay.
paint these.
Yeah.
And that's
Is that the original paint, you think? Because it looks
No.
blue underneath there.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Somebody painted it.
Is it leaking oil? They all leak oil.
This thing is better than way better than most.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
And so, what does this do?
That's just a steering. You can tighten up your steering with that.
Okay. So it makes it a little bit tighter.
Yeah. I got tons of old cycle magazines.
Yeah.
And they compared this with the Lightning, and there's just barely any difference.
You got a flat, right? I saw that.
That's a brand new tire and tube.
I saw you. I mean, you were. That was crazy. You were like, it was wobbling, and you
I
were.
kept having that, you know how like if you're snow skiing and you have that feeling like, I think I'm gonna go down.
Well, so I like the bike. I want to buy it. Will you take $2,800 for it?
Nope. Absolutely not.
What do you want for it?
Well, I told you 39.
You said 32.
Huh?
You said 32.
I did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what you said. 32. I'll do 32.
I told you that?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to let it go for 32.
Well, what do you want for it?
Are you sure I said that?
Yeah. I'll make you a fair deal. What's fair?
32. I can't imagine.
All right, let's. All right. I came here with 32. I'll go 3 more. 35.
I'd do that.
You do
You
35?
think I said 32?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I did it.
But you know, I'm here. 35 cash.
I'll tell you at 34 and no tears.
All right.
Is that cool?
That's
Because
fair.
I really
fair.
thought I had.
That's
set
fair.
much higher.
I like it. You know, it runs.
That's a good deal.
It's a good bike. You know.
If you look at these,
Yeah.
you know, that has got less problems than anything I have right now.
Yeah. It
I
runs.
mean, and they've all got
some kind of problem.
you know, some kind of little funkiness, and that is as good as I've
It's
had.
those bikes, yeah. I just bought myself my very first British motorcycle, and it happens to be a BSA. You know what that stands for?
Birmingham Small Arms.
Yeah, Birmingham Small Arms. They started in small arms, and then they eventually started building bicycles, and then they switched over to motorcycles.
There's my friend Jay, right when we need him.
Hey, Jay. Can you help?
I don't charge much.
How much you charge?
It's like a beer.
A beer? I don't have a beer.
All right, well,
Ready?
we'll just keep her steady. And
Really thrilled to
Yeah.
have my first British bike.
I
It
think
runs,
you're starting out with a good one.
it steers, it brakes,
Yeah.
and it puts a huge smile on my face. And what more can you want?
That's right.
What more can you want than that, man?
That's all I want.
All right, take care. Thanks. I can't tell you how excited I am to look in my rearview mirror and see a beezer, because that's what I guess the people in the know call them, poking out at me. It's so exciting to finally have a British bike. Now you might be wondering, what was it like to ride that thing before Jess almost killed himself with that flat tire he had on the front wheel? Well, it's different, you have to think, because the shifting is reversed, so gears are on the right instead of on the left, and that means that in a panic situation you tend to downshift instead of hitting the brake, and that's not good. But in general, it's very powerful. It's got a great sound. And when you get it up into the high revs, it does shake quite a bit, so I could see why people would get a little tired of riding those after a long time, because there is quite a bit of vibration coming through the steering wheel. And you know, it steers like a 50-year-old bike. You know, it's never going to be as smooth, it's never going to be as sporty, and it's never going to be as lively as a modern bike. But you know, none of that matters. It's just so cool and so fun to ride that. When you get on that thing, it's like stepping back 50 years to a time that I wish I had lived through. It's just really cool. That deep-throated exhaust note of that bike is wonderful. I don't know if you saw, but Jess was a little sad about the fact that he was letting it go. And I can completely empathize with him, because even though I've only ridden it for 10 minutes, I'm already starting to fall in love with it. And that's not going to be a great way to conclude the series if I don't sell it. But we are going to sell it. So coming up next on the Fast Lane car, we're going to mash it up with the 1968 Ford Bronco. What about them apples? I'm gonna check the gas. This bike doesn't have a fuel gauge. That looks good. Hey Tommy, how do you want to start this?
How about ready, set, go?
All right, it's not a race. It's not a race, Tommy. All right, I'll meet you in Gold Hill. Yeah, I remember when I was like that. Yeah, I remember when I was like that. I think I'm gonna not push this 40, what is that? Almost 50-year-old bike. I'm just gonna try to get to Gold Hill in one piece.